Welcome back. Today I am looking at the Oktava Mk-012 with a cardioid capsule. Here it is with the high-pass filter pad attached. As always, I'm using my same methodology, setting peaks between -12 and -18, and seeing what the noise floor is when I do that. Recording 20 sentences between 1 and 9 words, testing character voices, sibilants, plosives, proximity, etc., and then normalising each sentence to between LUFS-I of -20 to -24 so that it can be compared with other microphone recordings. Other than that, there's no editing, no second takes, just the adjustments to balance the noise. So I am comparing as baseline this week the TLM-102, as I usually do, certainly for cardioid comparisons. If you've watched my videos before, you know plenty about the TLM-102 right now. It's got well-controlled bass, it's got a nice boost of clarity, self-noise of 12 dBA, and gets me a noise floor of around about -66. It's my day-to-day microphone, or at least it was at the time that I recorded the tests, and I've always preferred it to the more expensive TLM-103. It's £550 in the UK and $799 in the US. For the Oktava Mk-012 cardioid that I've got right here, let's pull up the frequency response now. There's less bass response with the high-pass filter on it, which should mean a lower noise floor, but it's got a slightly wobbly top end, making it a bit unpredictable in how it's going to sound. It also has quite high self-noise. It's got 18 dBA of self-noise, and as a result, I've only got a noise floor of -60, and you'll really be able to hear that in these tests. I haven't got a lot of experiences with this microphone, but I really enjoyed the hypercardioid capsule in its test. I rated it 4 out of 5 stars, and I've got high expectations based on the reputation of this with the cardioid capsule. In the UK, it costs £269, including the -10 dB pad and the cardioid capsule. It's $323 in the US with the same. On the other hand, I paid £160 for one with a hypercardioid capsule and a high-pass filter, and £160 for another one that had a cardioid, hypercardioid, and omni capsules, with the -10 dB pad and no high-pass filter. So I've got kind of a fairly complete set, similar to if I bought the movie set. Let's have a listen to the tests.
Cue dramatic music. Cue dramatic music. Or don't, we're not your mom. Or don't, we're not your mom. Crunchazoids. Crunchazoids. Now, imagine the perfect espresso. Now, imagine the perfect espresso. Precision is not an option. Precision is not an option. Talk to someone who gets it. Talk to someone who gets it.
I don't think we should go in there. I don't think we should go in there.
I brought you a spoon. I brought you a spoon. Oh, it's a lovely day to be a me. Oh, it's a lovely day to be a me. I'm the best magical dog. I'm the best magical dog. All are safe under my protection. All are safe under my protection.
Roll up, roll up, roll up, roll up.
You just got mud on my shoes. You just got mud on my shoes. I was never in the shadows. I was never in the shadows. Client said it'd be easy. Client said it'd be easy.
I'm going to count down from 3 and then... I'm going to count down from 3 and then...
Kill them all. Kill them all.
She sells seashells by the seashore. She sells seashells by the seashore. Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers. Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers. They're right behind you. They're right behind you. As you'll know from all my other videos, I also like to see how microphones compare with processing applied. So for that, I use the first paragraph of Winnie the Pooh. Let's have a listen to that. Here is Edward Bear coming downstairs now, bump, bump, bump on the back of his head, behind Christopher Robin. It is, as far as he knows, the only way of coming downstairs, but sometimes he feels that there really is another way, if only he could stop bumping for a moment and think of it. And then he feels that perhaps there isn't. Anyhow, here he is at the bottom and ready to be introduced to you, Winnie the Pooh. Here is Edward Bear, coming downstairs now, bump, bump, bump on the back of his head, behind Christopher Robin. It is, as far as he knows, the only way of coming downstairs, but sometimes he feels that there really is another way, if only he could stop bumping for a moment and think of it. And then he feels that perhaps there isn't. Anyhow, here he is at the bottom and ready to be introduced to you, Winnie the Pooh. So, conclusions. I've got quite a few conclusions about this microphone. So, what do I like about the Oktava Mk-012? I think it's very forward-sounding, more so than the TLM-102, and it has an incredibly warm sound. It's also slightly less prone to plosives, probably because it's small and there's less space for the to hit it. I thought it handled the piglet test astonishingly well. Most microphones fail at that. Let's have a listen.
I don't think we should go in there. I don't think we should go in there.
And I also thought it was particularly impressive when doing different voices, particularly the female voice test that I did near the end. Let's have a listen to that.
I'm going to count down from 3 and then... I'm going to count down from 3 and then...
And from that, I end up with a fairly big conclusion for the second week running. I like it more than the Neumann TLM-102, which makes it the second death knell, or possibly the first one, depending what order these videos come out, for the 102. And you know, it's not looking good for the 102. There are some things I don't like about the microphone. The noise floor is higher than I'd like. Certainly much higher than I'd like with an 18 dBA noise floor. I also think the proximity effect is significantly less flattering than the Neumann TLM-102. Let's have a listen to that. Precision is not an option. Precision is not an option. And finally, I think it is slightly more sibilant sometimes. But, you know, that's about it. It's a fantastic microphone. And speaking of fantastic microphones, next week I will be looking at the microphone which ends up taking the TLM-102 away from day-to-day use and is replacing it. So next week, join me for a look at the Sennheiser MKH-8050. I will see you then.